Let's talk about how to choose between the various products in the line, starting with the amp heads. The Claris 1 and the Claris 2 are identical, except that the Claris 2 has a second channel. So pick between those two based on price, the Claris 1 is less expensive, or whether or not you need the second channel. As far as the combos are concerned, let me point out at first that all of our combo amps are designed as full range amplification systems. They're not designed specifically for keyboard or for guitar or for bass, but some players prefer some models over another depending on the sound that they get. What you should do is choose on the basis of cost, size, weight, the ability to play loud in certain situations, and the sound that you get with your specific instrument. We're going to go through and demonstrate the units, and we're going to compare, to start with, the coda versus the chorus, and you'll hear some sound clips that allow you to hear the difference between the two. We'll do the same thing with the coda versus the 10-2, and you'll be able to hear the difference between those. We're going to start with a demonstration of the coda versus the chorus. I'm going to play a little bit of guitar through each. I'm going to switch back and forth. It will be about a 10-second clip going through each, and you'll hear the difference between them. At first we'll set the volumes so that they are the levels are set for the same, and what you'll notice is that the chorus is louder than the coda for the reasons that we described earlier. Then we'll repeat the demonstration, making the output levels equal to each other so that you can hopefully hear the tonal differences between the two. Okay, so we'll start with the coda. Now the chorus. Okay, so you could hear the difference in volume right off the bat. Now let's lower the level of the chorus so that we're listening more to the tonal comparison between the two. And we'll start with the coda again. Okay, so hopefully you could hear that the chorus is a little bit more forward, a little brighter sounding than the coda, but I think you'll also appreciate that the difference is pretty subtle. We're going to compare the coda versus the chorus using the bass. First passage we'll play with the level controls set the same, so you'll be able to hear the volume difference between the two. Start with the coda. Here's the chorus. You could distinctly hear the difference between the two volume-wise. Now let's set the level control in the chorus so that the output volumes are basically equivalent on the two, and we'll start again with the chorus. Coda, sorry. Now the chorus. So you could hear the difference there. The chorus is a little brighter sounding. Now we're going to demonstrate the coda versus the 10-2 using the bass. We've had the level controls set the same, so as we switch from the coda to the 10-2, you'll hear a slight volume increase. So let's start with the coda. So now let's set the level so that the volume is approximately equal. We better be able to hear the tonal differences. Coda first. So you could hear a subtle difference between the two as we switch back and forth. Now we'll play a guitar through the coda and the 10-2, give you an idea of how that sounds with that instrument. We've set the levels so that they're the same. When we switch between coda to 10-2, you'll hear the volume increase with the 10-2. Then we'll set so that the volumes are equal and you can hear that difference. Starting with the coda. So you could definitely hear the difference, increase in volume as we switched. And now let's set the control so that the output volumes are roughly equal so you can better hear the tonal differences. Go ahead. We started with the coda, switched to the 10-2, and I think you could hear a difference there with guitar. It wasn't a difference that you could hear much with bass, but you could hear that the 10-2 was a little warmer sounding than the coda with guitar. So hopefully those demonstrations will help you decide which one to pick. Let me give you some verbal examples that might be helpful too. I'm going to talk in the first person as if I were you. Let's say I play upright bass, and a small combo is something that's important to me because I transport the bass and the combo amp at the same time. Both the coda and the 10-2 sound good to me for bass, but since I play mostly small acoustic settings, low volume, the coda is what I pick because the small size trumps it for me. Another example, I play upright bass and I double on electric bass. I often play in louder situations, big bands, or even a moderate volume fusion group. So in this case I pick the 10-2 over the coda because it's more versatile, will play louder, and I do that in spite of the fact that it's larger and heavier, but it does what I need. Another example, I play archtop guitar, and mostly in small group settings, play jazz, but I need something that will cut through the other instruments. The chorus is what I pick over the coda because the chorus has that more upfront sound. Lastly, I play acoustic guitar, and fidelity of reproduction is the most important thing to me. So I listen to both the coda and the chorus, and I pick the coda because it has the more hi-fi sound. So hopefully this answers your questions. If you have more, you can contact our dealers. They're all very knowledgeable. Most of them are players themselves. And if you like, you can call Acoustic Image, and we'd be happy to talk to you, answer your questions, and explain anything you need. Thanks for watching.